I know they're struggling, but what makes the Rangers so good, especially in net with Shesterkin? What makes him so good?
Well, they're 3-1 their last 5, so that tells me they're playing better. I know they went through a stretch there, so they've typically been a good team for years. So that's the team I expect we'll see tonight. What makes them good? I think their goaltender does put out a lot of fires for them. Both of them have. Quickie's been excellent for them too. So they've had some turnover in the back end. Maybe that's a little bit of a learning curve. But up front, I think they still have those dynamic right shot forwards. They always, think of them, especially in the power play. And it's Panarin, Zibanejad, Trocheck. I know Kreider's out. He's really good net front presence, so he occupies space. So offensively, that allows those guys to roam around, hit those seams. So that to me is what it's always been. They've always had a group of young guys too that when they're going, right, it was now I know they moved on from Kako, but Lafreniere has grown and Cheadle's been in and out. So when they were on top of their game, those 3 kids were really playing well together. So they had a mix of veteran guys. They had some young guys coming. I think that's where they were. Now what they're going through this year, we haven't seen them yet. I can't speak to it, but as I said, I anticipate we'll see a good Rangers team.
That Barbashev is a game time decision, or?
Yeah, listen, I think he's going to play, but we're going to call it at game time. It'll be his decision, but he looks good.
How do you look at it, Bruce, in terms of Jesus?
I didn't want you to know about the microphone. In terms of this team's ability, I think Darren touched on this yesterday, but is it almost a source of pride within that room not to let things go in the wrong direction for too long and respond from? You haven't lost 2 in a row in a month and a half. Is that a source of pride for this group to get right back on the winning track?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. They're a proud group, and they take ownership of their game. Always have. We usually meet, and I'd like to consider myself a pretty straight shooter, and this is a group of guys that I think they respect that, and that's what they want. Hey, here's what we're doing well. Here's what we got to fix. Here's how we're going to go about fixing it, and off we go, right? And they're good with that. But at the end of the day, it's on them when the puck drops tonight to know, hey, we didn't like our last performance. How do we change that? Let's get out and do a better job tonight. Take more pride in. And it's not a million things, Ghost. It's usually, okay, let's take pride in our puck battles, our play away from the puck, our reloading, our effort, second effort plays. We have enough talent in there. The rest will take care of itself. I believe that that's typically what happens. Let's manage the puck in there, because we talked about that yesterday. That can be a problem at times where when we're good with it, the risk reward, I think we're a really good team, hard to beat. So that would be the other area that, and I hear guys talking about that, take care of the puck, right? And no one's telling each other out there they can't make a play, but pick the right time to do it. Get the right support around you and make it easier, and off you go.
Cole Schwint isn't necessarily there to score goals. That's not the most important part of his game, but just curious, as he seems to be getting more and more looks as of late, if you've had a message to him on that front, or if there have been conversations.
Well, it's been the same one, right? It's been a while. He's played a lot of games. He hasn't got his first name. So, it became a source of conversation probably around the room. Everyone's rooting for him, still are, but had lots of chances at the start. It kind of dried up, I think, in the middle, and now it's coming back a little, the offense. I've said it all along about him. He's stayed in the lineup. Some of it's health-related, obviously, but the second part is he's a plus player without scoring a goal. So it tells me he knows how to check. We can rely on him to play good defense. He's good in the circle. We're trying to build more penalty kill minutes in for him. There's a few other guys ahead of him there. And he's with other guys that don't drive offense necessarily either. So it's a tough ask for all of them. Usually when you come into the league as a young guy, someone's around you to help you that drives offense. Now, there are exceptions, the Celebrinis of the world. They're first overall picks, right? Bedard drove offense. Those guys can do it, but they're rare. Most young guys come in the league, need a little help around them. Lafreniere is a good example in New York, right? He was put with young guys, and then he grows his game a little bit. Now he's around guys that drive it, and his numbers go up. So that's the way it works for most young guys. I don't think he came into our situation where we thought that would be the case. What we were looking for was a bigger body, a guy that could skate, get around the ice, and be a conscientious 200-foot player, and we'd see where it goes from there. So that's what we have. That's what he's been. And hopefully the offense comes around, some level of offense. We'll see. I mean, you never know with that. So that's the message to him, is it's a 200-foot game. Help us win. These are the areas I'm leaning on you for. The goals come great. Plays come great, but you have to manage the puck. You have to be strong on puck. You got to work above people. You got to check well, because we like to use that type of line against good players. It free up our other lines to in certain nights. Jack will always play against great competition, and Carly, but we'd like a mismatch somewhere if you can saw off your match. And he's done a good job with that, his matchup. So, but we all want to see him score, only because that's what you play for. It's the most exciting thing to do, right? Unless you're one of those weird goalies, it's a shutout. But for players, you want to score.
They're a high-profile team.
Speaking of weird goalies, yeah, here we go.
They're a high-profile team. Is there any extra challenge when all you've heard for a month and a half is the drama and the challenges that they're going through?
No, I think we have to focus on ourselves, and usually do. I mean, if we were in their division, yes, there'd be a little more of that. We don't see them that often. We lost our last game and weren't happy with it. I think that's where our whole mindset's at. I thought we had a good practice yesterday, good pace and energy. I think part of the problem Thursday, we weren't playing with enough pace against the Islanders, so hopefully that our legs are there tonight, and we're moving the puck north and playing direct. No, I don't think so. I think if we were in New York, maybe you'd read more about it because you're there. It might be that way, but here it's more about ourselves.
If you're healthy, do you know what your lines are?
When we're healthy? Yeah, I know what our lines are. I'm the coach, right? I'm supposed to know what they are. Are you asking me what they're going to be like in stone in 3 months from now, or are you saying?
You have new people. People have moved around. You've had injuries, and if I had to guess, I know what the Eichel line is like. But after that, if everybody's there, I don't know what the rest look like.
Well, Nick's right around the corner, so we're going to see it soon. No use getting ahead of ourselves till he's in the lineup. He's the last piece of the puzzle. He's skating. Could be as early as tomorrow, if not Tuesday. So it's right around the corner, and from there, we'll have a better idea. I'm not going to start piecing together lines that are going to look like until they're all the pieces are there, right? So we'll get through tonight with what we practiced with yesterday. Hurdle has moved from left wing to center. That's been where some of the lines may change. Trying to figure out, is he better? Is he better playing with Carly? Is he better with Howie in the middle? Or just finding chemistry still. So our lines change a lot because of injury. Our lines change a lot because we're trying to find the right balance. But I don't think we're throwing stuff against the board to make it stick either. We're not that, because nothing's working, I guess. We've seen a lot of things work. We want to try to settle in the one that kind of gives us the best for everybody, and balance when we're healthy. We want balance when we have the guys that are, the 12 guys that we would say would be in the lineup every night, and we haven't had that in a while.
Who do you have starting tonight?
We have Samsonov tonight, and Hilly will be tomorrow.